Why do so many people who make oftentimes 6 figures or more, why are so many of them so broke? And don't tell me about inflation, don't tell me about cost of living and all of these things. There is legitimate reasons why certain people are struggling, but if you are making 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, I don't think you should be struggling. So we'll talk about that in this video. I think I want to start here, where a lot of high income earners are often college educated, and oftentimes they come from humble beginnings. And when you come from humble beginnings, once you get that first big boy or big girl paycheck, you want to ball out. You want to get all the things that you've been deprived of. You want to get all the things that your parents couldn't give you. You feel like you need to treat yourself. And so oftentimes high income earners equate high income with net worth, and that's not the case at all. Your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. And your asset is a job. Yes, your asset is a paycheck. But if you have lifestyle liabilities like cars, credit cards, living in a very expensive penthouse or a neighborhood, or just having expensive taste in terms of vacations, eating out at restaurants, and not saving or investing, then you're going to be broke. It doesn't matter if you make 150K if it takes 150K for you to survive. You're basically living paycheck to paycheck. And that's what we're seeing right now in today's society. A lot of high income earners are going to end up broke, are going to end up being the ones that are relying on daddy government to give them a handout. And that's just not the way to do it. Handle your business, handle your personal finance, make sure you save, make sure you invest. Regardless of how much money you are making, you always have to secure your own future. And I get it, right? Because the second reason why a lot of high income earners are living paycheck to paycheck is that lifestyle inflation. If you're a lawyer or a doctor, you're expected to do lawyer or doctor things. You have to have that golf membership. You have to be driving that BMW. You have to live in this very exclusive neighborhood, because a lawyer or a doctor, they're not going to want to drive around with a Honda Civic. They want that BMW X5. They want that G-Wagon or that convertible. They want something that has status. And that's the same thing with their clothes. They want the Lululemon or whatever fancy brand like rich people shop at. I'm a very simple guy. I dress very simply, so I really don't know what these clothing brands are, but they want all of those things. If you're a lady, you want the latest purses and handbags. And I get it. You feel like you work hard. You feel like you need to deserve what you need to buy, but that's just not the way to do it. You have to delay gratification, especially when you get into that first big boy or big girl job. Delay gratification, hold it down for 5-10 years, and then you can spoil yourself later on down the road. Don't succumb to lifestyle inflation or the perception that you're a doctor or a lawyer. And I know I'm picking on doctors and lawyers, but there are other high status professionals that feel like they have to look the part, right? Bankers, account executives, real estate agents. And even in the case of real estate agents, I kind of understand to a certain degree, because if you want to sell high ticket homes that are in the 500,000, in the millions, in the multi-millions, you have to look the part of a real estate agent that sells those types of homes. I understand that. But at some point, you got to get your personal finances in order first before, as I said, you can live that lifestyle. You got to save, invest, budget, manage your money, all that good stuff. And if you want any of those resources, I have ebooks in the description down below. As well as, if this video is giving you value so far, please leave a like for the YouTube algorithm, as well as subscribe, become part of the family. And let's continue with the video. Now, the next thing I want to attack from a psychological perspective is, I do get it that oftentimes people who are high income earners, they come from humble beginnings. You had to slave in college, probably are in student loan debt, and so on and so forth. You're eating ramen noodles while you're pulling all-nighters for that big exam. And now that you've graduated, you got that big job, you want to be in this I deserve it phase of your life. You earned it. I understand. I get it. But that I deserve it mentality is not going to give you financial freedom. It's not going to give you financial independence. It's certainly not going to make you run off into the sunset when it's time for retirement and have multiple millions of dollars and not have to worry about working ever again. If you want that lifestyle, you have to delay gratification a little bit more longer. Don't go into the I deserve it phase as soon as you graduate and get your first job. I know you grew up hard. I know college was hard. I know your mom and dad probably couldn't give you the latest shoes, the latest clothes, the latest book bag. I know kids laughed at you because of your gear was outdated or lame or all those things. I know you got teased. It's okay. But understand this. You know what's worse than getting teased as a kid? Getting teased as an adult, especially when someone knew that you made money, especially when someone knows that you're a doctor or a lawyer, and then 5, 10, 15 years into your career, people are looking at you like, oh, you should be set for life by now, right? And you're like, no, I'm still broke. I'm still $150,000 in student loan debt. I'm still behind on my mortgage. My car note is still not paid off. Get out of that I deserve it phase. Get out of that comparing yourself to your peers phase, because let me tell you something. Here's a dirty little secret. All those peers that you have that you're trying to compare yourself to, they're all broke, they're all in debt, and they're not better off financially than you are. Net worth is the name of the game, my friends. Assets minus liabilities. And if you're not focused on that when you get out into the workforce, you are going to be in for a rude awakening. And the next thing that a lot of people who are high income earners, they tend to overestimate their future earnings. They're like, okay, I got my first big boy or big girl job. I start at 80K, 120K. It only goes up from here. But that's only true to a certain point. You're going to top out your earning potential when you're in your 40s and early 50s, but then it's going to go on a decline, because as you're growing older and getting more tenure in that business, you're going to be so expensive to that company. And all companies, they look at the bottom line. So what are you going to look at? You're going to look at the junior lawyer coming up, the junior doctor coming up, the doctor that's in residency, and all these people that are much cheaper than you to replace you in the next 2 to 3 years. And oftentimes, not only are these people cheaper, they're more motivated, they're more hungry, and they are more efficient with their time. And now you're in the job as an old dinosaur trying to hold on because you thought you're going to make this income forever and ever and ever. And you see this a lot with entertainers and athletes. They match their lifestyle up to that NFL paycheck, that NBA paycheck. And as soon as they retire, as soon as they are out of the league, they go broke, because you cannot predict future earnings. You have to be prudent. As I said, I keep repeating it: saving, investing, budgeting, all the building blocks of a healthy personal finance lifestyle. And as I touched on it before, a lot of these high income earners, they have a high level of debt. And that's because of the schooling they went to. Medical school and law school and business school and the best schools in the world and in the country, they're very, very expensive. We already know how I feel about college, but this is not the video for that. But yeah, high income earners always have a lot of debt, because you're going to get married, you're going to have a couple kids. Now you got to take care of a wife, 2 kids, you got to put them through school, you got to pay that mortgage, and all these things just keep adding up. You have to go on those 2 vacations every single year. Got to take the kids to Disney World, got to take the wife to Paris, or whatever the case may be. And so now you're trapped in that middle class cycle. You're trapped in the rat race of working to pay bills, working to pay debt. And so no matter how much money you make, you can't keep any of it because you're just so much in debt. And the final point I want to make why high income earners are probably going to end up broke at the end of the day, all that working, all that schooling, is because they lack one important skill. And that skill is keeping money. That skill is financial literacy. Listen, everybody that makes a lot of money does not have financial literacy. We already know that with athletes and entertainers, and I hate to pick on them, but they're a very stark example. How can you make millions of dollars and be broke within a couple of years? You also see that with lottery winners, right? A lot of them end up broke within a couple of years after winning the lottery, because financial literacy is a skill. And so if you're watching channels like mine and other similar channels, you're definitely doing yourself a service in terms of improving your financial literacy. And what does that mean? It means that you understand how money works. And how money works is assets over liabilities. Do not purchase things on credit. Stay out of debt. Do not succumb to lifestyle inflation. Understand that there are boom and bust cycles in the economy. So things go up and everything is good and everybody's spending money. But then we have a downturn, which is called a recession, and then everybody's panicking and everybody's broke. And it's just unfortunate because financial literacy is so easy to learn. All you have to do is just seek out the information, be willing to learn. But a lot of people are just more focused on scrolling Instagram and TikTok and just being entertained and just being distracted from the things that really don't matter. Being distracted from the things that will actually set you up financially for the rest of your life. If you're not one of those people, links in the description down below. Sign up for the weekly newsletter. We send that out every single Friday, as well as like, subscribe to the video, get this financial knowledge. We love to see it. We love to have you part of the family. My name is Adrian. QR code right here, alwaystalkmoney.com, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.